Okay, so today we're going to go over the Clinesmith case. Okay, and Kevin Clinesmith is going to be going before the judge. I do believe he is going to plead guilty. That's what rumor has it. He's going to plead guilty. So we're going to read this document here, his court documents, and get some insight into what Kevin Clinesmith has done. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. This is case 1:20-CR-00165-7EB. Okay, and this was filed on August 14th of 2020. And of course, there's 5 pages. So it's the United States of America versus Kevin Clinesmith. So let's get into it. We're going to start with the defendant's background. From July 12, 2015 to September 21, 2019, the defendant, Kevin Clinesmith, was employed full-time with the Federal Bureau of Investigations, FBI. Okay, that's the acronym, and that's what we'll use going forward. As an assistant general counsel in the National Security and Cyber Law Branch of the FBI's Office of General Counsel. The defendant's office was located in the J. Edgar Hoover Building in the District of Columbia. So it was in Washington, D.C. On July 31st, 2016, the FBI opened a Foreign Agents Registration Act, that's called FARA, that's the acronym, investigation known as Crossfire Hurricane, and whether individuals associated with the Donald J. Trump for President campaign were witting and or coordinating activities with the Russian government. By August 16, 2016, the FBI had opened individual cases under the Crossfire Hurricane umbrella on 4 United States persons, including a United States person referred to herein as Individual 1. And I do believe that Individual 1 is Carter Page. All right, let's keep going. 3, the defendant was assigned to provide legal support to FBI personnel working on Crossfire Hurricane. He was one of the individuals at the FBI who communicated with another specific United States government agency, the Other Government Agency, or OGA, to raise questions or concerns for the Crossfire Hurricane team. All right. In addition, as part of his responsibilities, the defendant, Kevin Clinesmith, provided support to FBI special agents and supervisory special agents working with the National Security Division of the United States of Justice, NSD, to prepare Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. That's the FISA. So that's what FISA stands for. You're hearing that a lot in the news about the FISA court. We got a FISA. Sally Yates was talking about FISA a couple days ago. So FISA is very important here because that's what was allegedly abused. So FISA is Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. Now the operative word is foreign. I don't know if it's unprecedented, but they were spying on people in the United States. Okay, so let's continue. FISA applications to obtain authority from the United States Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court. So that's the court that deals with the request for the FISA, the FISC, okay, to conduct surveillance on Individual 1. And again, I do believe they're referring to Carter Page there. There were a total of 4 court-approved FISA applications targeting Individual 1. The first application was approved on October 21st, 2016, FISA number 1. And 3 renewal applications were approved on January 12th, 2017. FISA number 2, April 7th, 2017, and FISA 3 and June 29, 2017, FISA number 4. So those are all of the FISAs that were associated with the Crossfire Hurricane. Okay, FISA number 4 expired September 22nd, 2017. Each of the FISA applications allege there was probable cause that individual number 1 was a knowing agent of a foreign power, specifically Russia. Okay, B, individual's number one prior relationship with another government agency. That was at OGA. On August 17, 2016, prior to the approval of FISA number one, the OGA provided certain members of the Crossfire Hurricane team a memorandum. August 17th memorandum is what that's called, indicating that individual number one had been approved as an operational contact for the OGA from 2008 to 2013, and detailing information that individual one had provided to the OGA concerning number one's prior contacts with certain Russian intelligence officers. The first three FISA applications did not include individual number one's history or status with the OGA, and that's going to be important, you'll see as we move along. Prior to the submission of FISA number 4, individual number one, I know this can be confusing, the fourth FISA individual number one, I believe to be Carter Page, had publicly stated that she had assisted the United States government in the past. So who I believe to be a individual number one, Carter Page, is explaining that he has done work for the United States government. Okay, so that's huge. He would not be an agent of Russia if he's working with the US government. Okay, so let's move on. During the operation of FISA number 4, an FBI supervisory agent, SSA, who was the affiant on FISA number 4, asked the defendant to inquire with the OGA as to whether individual one had never been a source for the OGA. Okay, and the defendant, we know in this is a case. So this is Kevin Clinesmith versus the United States, right? So it can be confusing, but the defendant is Kevin Clinesmith, and the individual one I believe to be Carter Page. So let's keep going. On June 15th, 2017, the defendant sent an email to a liaison from the OGA stating, "We need some clarification on individual one. There is an indication that he may be a, in parentheses, digraphed source." Okay, so somebody at the OGA is asking, wait a minute, we need you to clarify, is Carter Page individual number one, I believe to be individual number one. They're asking Kevin Clinesmith, wait a minute, we need clarification. There's an indication that he may be a source. This is a fact we would need to disclose in our next FISA renewal. Okay, so you follow me? They're questioning that. They're saying, wait a minute, is he a source? Okay, to that end, can we get 2 items from you? So they're asking for 2 items. The OGA is asking for 2 items. So, source check is individual number one, a source in any capacity. If he is, what is a source? Or whatever type of source he is. So they're inquiring, is he a source? Later that same day, the OGA liaison responded by email in which the liaison provided the defendant with a list, but not copies, of OGA documents. That list included a reference to the August 17th memorandum the OGA had previously provided to certain members of the Crossfire Hurricane team. The liaison also wrote that the OGA uses the digraph to show that the encrypted individual is a U.S. person. We encrypt the U.S. persons when they provide reporting to us. My recollection is that individual one was or is, in parentheses, digraph, but the documents will explain the details. If you need a formal definition for the FISA, please let me know and we'll work up some language and get it cleared for use. Okay, so the defendant, Kevin Clinesmith, subsequently responded that same day to OGA, I hope I've been saying OGA this time, OGA liaison via email with, "Thanks so much for that information. We're digging into the documents now, but I think the definition of the digraph explains answers our questions." Okay. On June 19, 2017, the SSA followed up with an instant message to the defendant and asked, "Do you have an update on the OGA source request?" During a series of instant messages between the defendant and the SSA, the defendant indicated that individual one was a subsource and was never a source. Okay, so Kevin Clinesmith is coming back and saying that individual one, whom I believe to be Carter Page, was a subsource and was never, and never is the operative word, a source. The defendant further stated the OGA confirmed explicitly he was never a source. The SSA subsequently asked, do we have that in writing? Okay, so they're questioning this. The defendant responded he did and that he would forward the email that the OGA provided to the defendant. It's getting very hairy. Okay. Now here we're getting into the defendant's false statement. So let's listen carefully to this one, or listen carefully to this one. On June 19th, 2017, immediately following the instant messages between the defendant, Kevin Clinesmith, and the SSA, the defendant from his office in the Hoover building forwarded the OGA liaison's June 15th, 2017 email to SSA with alterations that the defendant had made so that the OGA liaison's email read as follows. Okay, let's read that again. On June 19, 2017, immediately following the instant messages between the defendant and the SSA, the defendant from his office in the Hoover building forwarded the OGA liaison's June 15, 2017 email to the SSA with alterations that the defendant had made so that the OGA liaison's email read as follows. So he made changes that is against the law. And it says, my recollection is that the individual one was or is diagraphed and not a source, but the documents will explain the details. If you need a formal definition for the FISA, please let me know and we'll work up some language and get it cleared for use. So Kevin Clinesmith just flushed his career down the toilet with those few sentences. Emphasis added. The defendant had altered the original June 15, 2017 email from the OGA liaison by adding the words "and not a source." Huge, which really put Carter Page, whom I believe to be individual one, I mean, it just upended his life. I mean, everything changed in his world, and he was demonized for quite some time. Okay. So let's see, where did I leave? Liaison had written not a source for the OGA, relying on the altered email. Okay, the SSA signed and submitted the application to the court on June 29, 2017. The application for FISA number 4 did not include individual one's history or status with the OGA rather, I'm sorry. Well, that's huge. Okay, so we now know what the crime is, what he did. Okay, count 1. Paragraphs 1 to 11 are incorporated by reference. So this is count 1. On or about June 19, 2017, within the District of Columbia, the defendant, Kevin Clinesmith, did willfully and knowingly make and use a false writing and document, knowing the same to contain a materially false, fictitious, and fraudulent statement, an entry in a matter before the jurisdiction of the executive branch and judicial branch of the government of the United States. Specifically, on or about June 19, 2017, the defendant altered the OGA liaison's June 15, 2017 email by adding that individual one was not a source. That's it. You might think that's minor, but like I explained earlier, it's huge. And then forwarded the email to the SSA, when in truth and in fact, and as the defendant well knew, the original June 15, 2017 email from the OGA liaison did not contain the words "not a source." And that's the end of that article. False statements in violation of Title 18 United States Code Section 1001 A3. And this is signed by John H. Durham, Special Attorney to the Attorney General. Included was Niraj N. Patel, Special Assistant United States Attorney for the District of Columbia, Anthony Scarpelli, Assistant United States Attorney for the District of Columbia. Okay, so here's some of the facts that I pulled from that. And there's a lot, but these are just some of them, okay? These came straight from this indictment or this report From July 12, 2015 to September 21, 2019, the defendant Kevin Clinesmith was employed full-time with the Federal Bureau of Investigation as an assistant general counsel in the National Security and Cyber Law branch of the FBI's Office of General Counsel. On July 31st, 2016, the FBI opened a Foreign Agents Registration Act, the FARA, investigation known as Crossfire Hurricane. You hear that a lot, and so if you never knew what it was related to, you know it's the Trump-Russia investigation into whether individuals associated with the Donald J. Trump for President campaign were witting and or coordinating activities with the Russian government. On June 19, 2017, okay, Kevin Clinesmith was asked, do you have any update on the OGA request? During a series of instant messages between the defendant and the SSA, the defendant indicated that individual one was a subsource and was never a source. The defendant further stated the OGA confirmed explicitly he was never a source, and we know that's where the problem, therein lies the problem. And in his own words, Kevin Clinesmith said, my recollection is that individual one, whom I believe to be Carter Page, was or is not a source, but the documents will explain the details. If you need a formal definition for the FISA, please let me know and work up some language, and I get it and get it cleared for use. All right, so that's it. I think I've summed it up pretty well there. Thank you for stopping by the Daily Facts. Hope you enjoyed. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment so I know that you know, your thoughts and if you're enjoying this. All right, take care. Bye.